The First World War, also known as the Great War, was a global conflict that engulfed Europe from 1914 to 1918. It was a war unlike any other, marked by unprecedented levels of violence, technological advancements, and global involvement. The war's origins can be traced back to a complex web of alliances, imperial rivalries, and nationalist tensions that had been simmering for decades. The assassination of Archduke Franz Ferdinand of Austria-Hungary in Sarajevo on June 28, 1914, provided the spark that ignited the powder keg of Europe. Austria-Hungary, backed by Germany, issued an ultimatum to Serbia, which was seen as responsible for the assassination. Serbia's refusal to accept all of the ultimatum's terms led Austria-Hungary to declare war on July 28, 1914. The system of alliances that had been put in place over the preceding decades quickly came into play. Germany, bound by its treaty with Austria-Hungary, declared war on Russia on August 1, 1914, after Russia began mobilizing its troops in support of Serbia. On August 3, Germany declared war on France, Russia's ally, and invaded neutral Belgium in a strategic move to bypass France's defenses. This act of aggression prompted Great Britain to declare war on Germany on August 4, 1914. Within a matter of days, the major powers of Europe were at war. Their populations initially greeted the news with a mixture of enthusiasm and apprehension. Little did they know that the conflict would drag on for 4 long years and claim the lives of millions. At the heart of the First World War lay a complex web of alliances that had been forged in the decades leading up to 1914. These alliances, intended to deter aggression and maintain the balance of power in Europe, instead served to escalate tensions and draw the continent into war. On one side stood the Triple Alliance, formed in 1882 between Germany, Austria-Hungary, and Italy. This alliance was largely the brainchild of Otto von Bismarck, the Chancellor of Germany, who sought to isolate France and prevent it from seeking revenge for its defeat in the Franco-Prussian War of 1870 to 1871. Opposing the Triple Alliance was the Triple Entente, a loose alignment between France, Russia, and Great Britain. France, eager to counter the growing power of Germany, found a willing partner in Russia which shared its concerns about German expansionism. Great Britain, traditionally wary of continental entanglements, joined the Entente Cordiale with France in 1904 and signed the Anglo-Russian Convention in 1907, effectively completing the Triple Entente. These alliances, while intended to preserve peace, instead created a climate of suspicion and mistrust. Any conflict between two members of opposing alliances had the potential to drag the other members into war, as was the case in 1914. The First World War was characterized by a series of bloody battles, many of which resulted in staggering casualties and left an indelible mark on the course of the conflict. These battles were fought on multiple fronts, from the trenches of Western Europe to the mountains of Italy and the forests of Eastern Europe. One of the earliest and most significant battles of the war was the Battle of Marne, fought in September 1914 near the Marne River in France. The German advance, which had been swift and relentless, was finally halted by a combined French and British force. The battle marked the failure of Germany's Schlieffen Plan, which aimed to knock France out of the war quickly before turning its attention to Russia. Another pivotal battle was the Battle of Verdun, fought between February and December 1916. This battle, one of the longest and most costly of the war, saw the German army launch a massive offensive against the French fortress city of Verdun. The French defenders, determined to hold the city at all costs, fought with incredible tenacity, earning the battle the moniker Verdun, the grinder of men. The Battle of the Somme, which took place between July and November 1916, was another costly engagement on the Western Front. The British Army, hoping to relieve the pressure on the French at Verdun, launched a massive offensive against the German lines. However, despite initial gains, the battle soon bogged down into a bloody stalemate, resulting in heavy casualties for both sides. By 1918, after more than 4 years of devastating warfare, the tide of the First World War began to turn. The entry of the United States into the war on the side of the Allies in April 1917 provided a much-needed boost to the Allied war effort. The arrival of fresh American troops, combined with the growing exhaustion of the German army and the dwindling resources of the Central Powers, made a German victory increasingly unlikely. In the autumn of 1918, the Allied forces launched a series of successful offensives on the Western Front, pushing the German army back towards its own borders. On November 11, 1918, Germany, facing imminent defeat, signed the Armistice of Compiègne, bringing an end to the hostilities. The war's end brought about a wave of relief and jubilation across the Allied nations, but it also ushered in an era of profound change and uncertainty. The Treaty of Versailles, signed in 1919, officially ended the war and imposed harsh penalties on Germany, including territorial losses, disarmament, and heavy reparations payments. The war's end also saw the redrawing of the map of Europe, with the collapse of the Austro-Hungarian, Ottoman, and Russian empires. New nations emerged from the ruins of these empires, but their creation also led to new tensions and conflicts that would shape the course of European history for decades to come.